The relationship between people and their roots remains one of the most enduring aspects of human existence. Even as technology shrinks distances and mobility expands opportunities, the ties that bind individuals to their communities continue to shape identities, values, and social interactions. It was against this backdrop that the newly appointed Vice-Chancellor of Bayes University and Professor of Communication and Media Epistemology, Professor Abiodun Adeniyi, delivered a lecture at the 7th inaugural lecture of Bayes University, Abuja, on June 9, 2026. Titled How Your Village is Following You, Mobility, Memory, and the Mediated Persistence of Belonging. The lecture examined how individuals continue to maintain strong connections to their places of origin despite migration, urbanization, and the rapid growth of digital communication technologies. The event attracted a distinguished gathering of academics, traditional rulers, political leaders, media executives, students, and members of the university community. Among those in attendance were the Chancellor and founder of Bayes University, distinguished Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, former Governor of Imo State, Honorable Emeka Ihedioha, the Obaro of Kaba Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Solomon Dele Owoniyi, Deputy Vice-Chancellor Academics, Dr. Osita Agbu, former Managing Director Daily Trust newspaper Ishaq Ajibola, former spokesperson to President Muhammadu Buhari Garba Shehu, deans of faculties, media heads, lecturers, postgraduates, and undergraduate students. In his opening speech, the Chancellor and founder, Senator Yusuf Datti Baba Ahmed, said the gathering is to celebrate a distinguished scholar and Vice-Chancellor of Bayes University who had worked hard to carve a niche for himself in the media space.
I welcome us all to the 7th inaugural lecture of Bayes University. Today marks an important moment in the continuing story of our university. It is an occasion that celebrates the highest ideals of academic life and reminds us of the enduring purpose of a university as a community dedicated to the pursuit of knowledge, the advancement of scholarship, and service of society. Inaugural lectures occupy a special place in the traditions of universities across the world because they provide an opportunity for distinguished scholars to present the intellectual journeys that have shaped their respective careers, to share with the wider community the ideas, questions, discoveries, and reflections that define their contributions to knowledge. We are privileged to witness our own Vice-Chancellor in a role that predates his current office and indeed forms its very foundation. This lecture was already scheduled before Professor Adeniyi became Vice-Chancellor. Despite his new role, he remains a scholar, a teacher, a researcher, and an intellectual.
The inaugural lecture explored the role of social media, communication networks, and emerging technologies in sustaining cultural identities and reinforcing communal bonds across geographical boundaries. When asked what motivated the topic of the lecture, Professor Adeniyi said there's no difference between the villages and where we are now, due to migration and digitization.
What it sets out to demonstrate is that we are in an increasingly interconnected world where we live in digital atmosphere, where we live behind digital footprints on account of our interaction with communications, with technologies of information. And because we're interacting with these technologies, there's an integration of spaces and places. So there's no difference anymore between the villages and the distance that you are living in. There's no difference between yesterday and today, between absence and presence, and of course between the future and now. There's an increased integration, because of the placelessness brought about by the sophistication of communications technology. And the argument I was making at the end of the day, in form of recommendation, is that there should be better digital governance, because the virtual online world is a realistic world that can no longer be joked with, against the background of the frenetic rise of increase in capitalism, the growth of capitalism that is making communication much more sophisticated.
For participants, the presentation offered valuable insight into contemporary debates surrounding migration, culture, media, and national development. In a follow-up comment after the lecture, the Obaro of Kaba Kingdom, His Royal Majesty Oba Solomon Owoniyi, thanked the Chancellor for making his own an illustrious son of Kaba, the Vice-Chancellor of the university. He further remarked that the lecture has indeed done justice to the topic on the role of communication in shaping the community.
The Chancellor, sir, we want to thank you for making one of us. At the last count, we are told that we have more than 500 professors in our area. But how many vice chancellors do we have? My brother here, maybe it's number 6 or 7. We have not gotten up to 10. So we are praying that those of you who are here and are planning to establish new universities, remember us. I'm greatly delighted to witness this remarkable intellectual occasion delivered by one of our finest sons, Professor Adeniyi. The topic of this inaugural lecture speaks directly to the realities of our modern society and the enduring strength of cultural identity. The expression how your village is following you, no matter how far individuals travel across nations and continents, the memories, traditions, values, and identity of their ancestral communities continue to shape their lives. Culture remains the invisible thread connecting the people to their roots. In an age of migration, urbanization, and global communication, many societies are confronted with the danger of cultural erosion. Yet, memory serves as a bridge between the past and the future. Through language, folklore, customs, and communal values, people preserve the essence of who they are.
Speaking with Alhaji Ishaq Ajibola, former managing director of Daily Trust newspaper, he commended the lecture by Professor Abiodun Adeniyi as timely and well received by the people. He described him as a thorough academician who has paid his due.
Professor Adeniyi, you can't take that from him. He's a thorough intellectual academician who has paid his dues. In fact, he's still paying his dues. You can see the lecture he delivered with humor and very light, and people thoroughly enjoyed the lecture. So he's somebody who has reached the highest epic of intellectualism in Nigeria, especially in the area of media that we are all in. So I really give kudos to him, and I pray that he continues to grow from strength to strength.
To wrap up the event, the Chancellor and founder, in his closing remark, pledged the sum of 25 million naira to support anybody who wishes to research on Nigerian cultures with a unique calendar that is not the Gregorian calendar.
Never underestimate intellectual discourse. Please, I don't know how to overemphasize this. If there's anything I got at this lecture, in fact, in a very long time, is to discover that there's a Nigerian culture that had a calendar. This is huge. This is huge. Bayes University would not allow this to go untouched. And I am opening the floodgates. Whoever wishes to research into the Nigerian calendar, I have dedicated 25 million naira for this.
Beyond its academic significance, the inaugural lecture reflected Bayes University's commitment to intellectual inquiry, research excellence, and engagement with issues shaping modern society. In Bayes University, Abuja, for True Vision Television, Ebere Aniebo.